Hello one and all, I am Paligames and welcome to Fire Sports and Fun. Today I'm looking at a game called Hero of Many, brought to you by Trickster Arts, who are a self-proclaimed small indie studio from the Czech Republic of industry veterans. The game was a really interesting one for me to play. And I want to just bring up a few issues before we go into the game. First one is, I don't know where the hell the options screen is, because none of these do it. I'd imagine that maybe it's something what they haven't put in, and if they have, they've done a great job of hiding it. In case you're doubting me on that, that's for credits. This brings up some sort of weird block thing. Don't ask what it is. To my best of knowledge, I would imagine it's save files, but I have no idea. Couldn't tell you for the life of me what it is, but that's what I imagine it to be, and that's the exit out. However, that said, I do like the style of it. I like that it's kind of a bit in the background, it's a lot less distinguished, but I think it would really help if they just added, you know, a little like drop down text box what says what they are, for those who are not in the know. And you know, if the option menu is like not there, then it'd be great if they could add one. Be good. That being said, let's jump into the game and show you what it's all about. So here is the game itself. I'll let you just check out this rather crazy cutscene. Right, so I've basically so far I've played 3 levels. There's apparently 36 in total. And essentially what the game's all about is amassing this army to take on these guys, which are essentially what the game, I suppose, is trying to get at, is that they're the bad guys? Yes? No? Maybe? But for me, I had a really weird revelation with this game in that there's nothing separating you from the bad guys in this game. You essentially are just fighting for survival. You're both out to do the same thing, to eradicate each other. And that was a bit of a weird one for me. You don't, obviously the game has no speech. You know, it's obviously a game what's trying to convey everything through the actions of the game and the art rather than anything else. In kind of like a, I hate to say a journey fashion, because obviously, because one game's done it as like the iconic game to have been the one to sort of make it popular, it doesn't mean that the whole thing should be classed as such. Now there is quite a lot of exploration within the game to do to find out, you know, where you've got to go. There is a few nice little puzzles within this game which are nice to find and sort of work out. They're not like too taxing, to be fair though. As far as the aesthetic goes, I would best describe it as kind of a mix, in that it's almost the noir Limbo kind of style meets the Undergarden. In the fact that, you know, it kind of has this idea where you kind of use this light force to kind of make things kind of brighten and cheer up a little. That might be, but I'll have to go back because I've missed some of these orbs or some of these life forms. I don't think it explain what they were. To give you light spoilers on the game, in the fact that what happened at the very start is it's almost like Nemo-esque is the way I'd describe it. At the start of Nemo, if you've ever seen Finding Nemo, and what an obscure thing to talk about in relation to this, but it basically starts off that you basically get separated from all your fellow beings, and your job is to go out and find them all. Now this could be very well a puzzle that I'll have to solve, or it could be that I've just been using it as a block. Who knows? We'll soon find out. In this level, however, they have introduced this kind of like red tints in the background for some crazy reason. I don't know, just to give the game a bit more flair to it, I suppose. Not sure, but I'm sure it'll explain itself. As for the gameplay, it's pretty simplistic in that outside of the little puzzles, you know, fighting off these creatures hasn't been a problem at all, really. They're not exactly the toughest of things. Now, there's loads of different areas to go in, and it's very easy to lose stuff, etc. So that's where I think the real challenge in this game comes, rather than the quote-unquote combat, if you'd like to call it that. I wouldn't necessarily say it was, and I wouldn't say that that's where its strengths lie. So yeah, I would say this game has got me in a way that most games hasn't. These are basically your checkpoints. Once I've attacked everything around it, you'll see it will glow up. Another problem I've noticed with this game sometimes, and not always, and it could just be a bit of a bug maybe, but that in some areas, you know, when you're having a fight, especially with the bosses, the music will cut out early, and it really like detracts from the experience. So I've gone round in a circle. Okay, as long as I know that but I did collect some, so I haven't completely gone mad. I'll just make sure I've collected all that I can. I think the only challenge in the game is that if you miss some of these creatures, then maybe that's where the challenge comes in, the fact that you'll probably get took out, but I don't know. I've just been very good at making sure to get them all before moving on to the next area. The game itself, I would say, so far has been gripping enough to want to keep playing. As you've noticed, that's kind of a hidden killer there, so you've got to be careful of navigation within this game. But I've really enjoyed my experience so far with it. I would say these levels are quite lengthy, and I'll play the whole level, so you get an idea of the length of these levels. And it's not just because I'm awful at finding all the different creatures and stuff and finding my way round. It's just that the levels are just generally quite lengthy, which is nice to see. I'm not quite sure what these are, but I'd imagine they power up the creatures, or they just increase this radius of light. I don't know if it's aesthetic, this radius of light, or if it has an actual reason for it. I'd imagine if it does, it's sort of to empower you to make your creatures stronger. But I've not noticed anything rather impressive with the combat. I'd say that's probably its downfall, if anything. And it could always be something they could look at if they was looking to make the game a little more challenging. But I've enjoyed sort of the story it's been trying to purvey so far. It's been great. It's kind of you against them. But it's almost like it's trying to say, oh look, they're the bad guys, but they're really not. They're no different from you, in my opinion. Getting all philosophical. Philosophical, I imagine, is the word? Maybe? No? As you can see, we're just getting ambushed. Left, right, and centre. I don't know where they're all coming from, so we're going down here to find out. We might find out, might not. But I hope you can see what I'm shooting for in terms of why I think the aesthetic's like it is if you've played either game. I'd say the Undergarden wasn't such a hit, so it's unlikely that you have heard of it. But if you have, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Oh, gotta watch ourselves there. Kind of lost a few creatures there. I think as it works, as far as the combat goes, is the biggest swarm wins. That's what I tend to notice with it. There could be some up here, and there are. You've just got to kind of make sure that you get everything as you go along, and that these don't like just walk off, because they have a tendency of sometimes just, you know, disappearing from the flock, and I think that's intentional to make sure that you oh, missed some. There we go. For what it's worth. I think these do something, but I can't remember. Maybe not. They did, then I've forgotten. But as you can see, the game music is also phenomenal in my opinion. I really like the music. It's just a shame that I've noticed that kind of be a problem. I don't know if it's just me, or whether just in general it's a problem. I asked the devs if they knew of any bugs, but they said they didn't, so it's possible that it's just an isolated case, but who knows. Could be just I'm a scrub and I'm just not killing them fast enough. I'm hoping I can sort of show it off what I meant. Well, I actually wish I didn't, so that it wouldn't be a problem. But I'd say mostly I've been quite positive about this game and I've really enjoyed what it's had to offer. Wow. You can see it's getting quite a dark crimson red there. Better go up here and collect everything, because we'll need it. I think that's the case. It's like saying, oh, go for it, and you really shouldn't, because you aren't prepared. Because you'll just get swarmed. And here's like a real fight going on here. This was kind of like the boss last level, and each time it seems to be ramping it up a little. As you can see, we took them out without too much trouble. However, you seem to have like no say over it, because the combat's done by the creatures and not you. I better just go back and make sure I haven't missed any, because that is obviously a problem if I have. I think these are just gateways to get through, but we're going to have to fight everything first, I'd imagine. So we're getting near the end, because this must lead round to it as well. Not too much of a problem, I'd say. Basically, in terms of controls, it's really simplistic, in that mostly all you'll be doing is just moving your guy around with the mouse. So I think, unless you're into this sort of idea of being able to go around and explore, there's not a lot here for you, I would say. Right, so we have to take down the rest, the dregs of the creatures. I was making sure that there wasn't missed some. We could lose a few creatures here if we're not careful. I don't know if there's anything under this. There might be though. It might be that there's a mechanic here where I've got to block up these holes. I don't know. I'll try in case that's the case, because that would be quite a clever mechanic with this level. That's what I've got to do. And it's looking that way, so as you can see there's some very clever puzzles in this game. If that's the case. If not, then never mind. I'm just doing this for fun. Is that like stuck now? Yeah, it seems to have. So what holes are left? Where are the holes? Where are they? Oh, they're at it again. So where are they coming from this time? I can't see where they're coming from, and that's half the problem. Oh, so they're coming back out this way, are they? Should there be a problem once I took these out? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. bit confused, as you can see, because I can't find any more holes. I can obviously see what they're going for with this puzzle, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It might be that I've just got to open this extra door, what I've missed, because I was scared that there might have been a monster waiting for me. That's essentially where the exit is, but I think I've got to take out all these creatures first. Yeah, it is. That's the case. Okay. And we have done the level. So that gives you a nice taste of the game. I hope that my opinions have helped you decide on what you think of the game. As you can see, we've got a nice change of scenery now with the level. I won't be covering any more of this game now because I think it'd be redundant to do so, and I think I've purveyed the points I wanted to. Thanks for watching every good one. If you're watching this on Steam, please thumbs it up, vote it up even. It'd be nice if you could. If you want to see more First Thoughts, let me know what First Thoughts you'd like to see in the comments. If there's a game you're looking for, I can cover it. If it's relatively new, that'd be helpful. And yes, thanks for watching everyone, and goodbye.